Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome into Geeks Gamers Daily, your source for all things clickbait, outrage content. And who else better to join me than Ryan Kennel from RK Outpost?
What's up, Jeremy? We've got another hurricane coming in. This one's going to miss you.
Your mic is hot.
How about, is it better now?
It's a little bit worse now. A little bit worse now. But yeah.
Right, check.
There you
1,
go.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
There you go.
Now?
You're good now. You're good. Repeat what you said, not destroy all of us.
I was saying
there's
another hurricane coming this way.
There is another hurricane coming. So
I'm gonna miss you though.
So you've got two different opinions out there. One is that the government's controlling the hurricanes in order to destroy the election for Donald Trump, and the other is that Donald Trump caused all the hurricanes. I'm on the side of.
I would hope that of those two opinions, that there's about 9 people total that actually hold them, and not just realize that this is the same couple weeks where we get hurricanes every single year. In this area of the country.
I'm on the side of hurricanes happening during hurricane season is kind of par for the course for Florida, but hey, it is what it is.
I saw that the other day, like when the first one came through, they're like, this is basically 2 years to the date that this other hurricane came through. Coincidence? It's like, no, it's hurricane season, you retarded fucks. I fucking hate everybody. I honestly do.
I always go back to the Jennifer Lawrence back in the day when she blamed hurricanes during hurricane season on Trump, because she said Mother Nature was taking out her rage and her wrath on the United States for electing Donald Trump. It's literally what she said.
I blame Harvey Weinstein for climate change because all of his illegitimate children that he's forced upon these wannabe starlets has increased his carbon footprint like tenfold. So it's really Harvey Weinstein's fault.
But yes, it's been a day. It was a weekend full of news out of Hollywood, the wonderful people in Hollywood. They just can't. I can't believe we're still talking about the fucking cancellation of the Acolyte, but here we are. We're still there. And now you have stars of the movie lashing out at, Disney, which, hey, listen, if you're mad at Disney, might I suggest starting a YouTube channel? Might I suggest starting a YouTube channel and making videos about it? Because might be good for you, okay? I mean,
yes. We need more women in Star Wars. Yeah. I'm sure that'll go over great.
Oh, yeah, that would go over really good. I looked at the like to dislike ratio on that original video on the Star Wars YouTube channel, and it had 5,500 downvotes to like less than 1,000 upvotes.
Every one of those Acolyte cast interviews for Disney Star Wars Celebration, like on their own channels, got destroyed.
Yeah. Yep. But hey,
like Christina Ariel being like the host of that. Back when she was announced as the host of the High Republic show, she had this long, lengthy history of anti-white tweets. Like that was like 4 years ago at this point. But yeah.
Is she still with Lucasfilm, or is she still like hosting stuff on their channel? Have we seen anything?
I can't say I pay that close of attention. But at the last Disney Star Wars Celebration, obviously she was there doing the interviews with people. So
yeah.
I don't know what the case has been in the past year, if anything's changed, or if they have anything for her to do, but I don't know.
What a disaster Lucasfilm is, man. Like, I had forgotten about her. Like, I remember seeing her in the video that I covered, but like I forgot about that whole thing when they brought her on, and all of her history of all of her anti-white tweets and how much she hates white men.
I'll always remember it because that's the video that they clipped of me for the Rewriting Ripley thing.
Yeah.
She has a history of anti-white tweets. That was like the thing they clipped as they like randomly share Proud Boys or like January 6th clips or whatever it was. And like being the voiceover to it. Yes.
Oh man, you love to see it. But yes, and then of course Joker is I saw that it's got a I
can't believe that people are review bombing it because they're so racist. How dare they? Those racists just review bombing Joker too.
Yep.
Oh wait, shit.
Ooh,
can't blame it on that.
Yep.
Fuck.
How you gonna do that one? How bad?
Like people might just not like a movie.
How bad is it?
That's a tough question. I don't think I don't think it's like poorly directed or acted or anything like that. The problem is that it works so hard to undo so many things in the first movie. That's like the issue with it. And I've seen a lot of people saying this was Todd Phillips basically saying, if you like the first one, go fuck yourself. I don't know if it was so much that, or if it was more so one, there was never supposed to be a sequel. And Todd Phillips said over and over again, it was only supposed to be a standalone. And I think Warner Brothers finally offered him enough money where he was like, well, I guess I'll do it. And he wanted a way to have another subversive shock to people at the end of this movie, and decided to do so by kind of undoing so many things that were built up in the first one in an effort to shock people. I don't know exactly what the motivations were behind it, but I know what the end result is. And the end result is people that were looking forward to seeing the next part of this story and people that were worried about this next part of the story. Both of them are disappointed with what they end up going to see.
Yeah, I don't see anyone that's like, I don't see any fan movement for this movie at all. I see nobody. Like, and I mean, like, obviously you can find an individual here or there, but like, there's no group of people that are just like, yeah, this movie speaks to me. And
I think that there's going to be a decent, like, and I don't mean the majority or anything like that, but I do think there's going to be a decent amount of people who say, you just don't get it. The first one was about this, and this one's about this, and like stuff like that. I think that the media obviously worked overtime in the first one to convince everybody that there's this huge swath of men out there who looked at the character of Arthur Fleck and Joker as some kind of inspiration or a hero, when that really wasn't the case. There might be a handful of people that do think that. The vast majority of people who enjoyed Joker took that as like a warning sign for mentally ill people, a conversation about how governments treat people who are mentally ill, or how other people around them may treat them, and the potential bad things that can occur when that happens, especially if you already have this big buildup between, or this clash between the haves and the have-nots in whatever given society you live in. So I think there's going to be some people that try to say, wow, look at all the lonely incels out there. They thought he was an inspiration, and now they just showed you he's a pathetic man. That's why they're mad about this movie. I don't think that's why people are mad about this movie. People are mad about the movie because it takes the same thing that a lot of us were worried about, that if you try to explain too much in this sequel, you're going to end up undoing a lot of shit that made the first one awesome and made the first one a movie that should never have had a follow on. And that's kind of the problem. I also think the music stuff just doesn't work. It's not a musical. I almost wish it was a musical, because I think it would go over better if it was a musical, but it's not. It's a movie that like 75% of the musical acts, they're not musicals. They're like random karaoke breaks of songs that songs that exist already, as opposed to, hey, singing along dialogue and getting to know a character or a space or a motivation or things like this through music. That's what musicals are. It's not just because there happens to be songs in it. And you can only point to a handful of scenes where you can depict, oh, that's kind of like a traditional musical sense of what they're doing. And one of the scenes I actually think worked really well, there was a courtroom sequence that I think if they had modeled the whole movie like that, it probably would have gone over better. But the way they did the music didn't make any sense. Yeah.
I as small, like, I know you look at things pretty in depth, more so than maybe people understand, and like, it sounds like you've tried to justify this movie to the best of your ability, and even you can't, like, even as much as you want to, because you don't want to just like blanketly just say like, this is a piece of shit, fuck this movie.
Yeah, like, just because a bunch of my YouTuber friends don't like something doesn't mean that I'm gonna have the same opinion or whatever, right? So I always go like looking into why they decided to do this or how, as opposed to just repeating something that random retards on Twitter say, right? And I think it was 100% like the wrong decision with this story. I think there's ways that you could do it. I think there's ways you could do this with Harley Quinn, with Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn, who she was important in the movie, but I thought there was going to be way more of her than there actually was. I think there was a way you could have done a Joker 2 maybe even using her as the like story about mental illness. Like it's almost her point of view from that perspective, and how someone obsessed with a mass murderer can fucking conceive them, can like see them as a hero and get obsessed with them and shit like that. I almost think that would have been a better story to tell than undoing Joker and getting back to, hey, he's just actually Arthur Fleck.
This right here is the big red flag right there. Even Chris Stuckman didn't review it. I don't know if you understand the lore there, but like, so Chris Stuckman's basically at a point where if it's not something he can overly praise, he just won't review it. And so even Stuckman apparently hasn't. I don't know. I don't pay attention to Stuckman anymore, but it's funny if he hasn't even reviewed it. That speaks volumes right there about it. Personally, for me, I'm not really interested in watching the fucking movie. I didn't like the first trailer at all. I thought it looked completely weird. The second trailer, I guess, was a little better for me, but I love the first movie. I've seen it twice. I thought that it was completely unnecessary for a second film. There's literally no reason for a second film at all outside of just looking for more money, which isn't really the worst thing in the world, but
they're a business.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that, but I just I can't justify me even just, I don't even want to go see it. I don't even care. But hello everyone.
Yeah.
Welcome in. We got super chats to catch up on. Also, I got to talk about this story really quick, Ryan. I know this isn't in your wheelhouse, okay, specifically.
Is it about wrestling?
It is.
Ivan Owens and Cody Rhodes?
No. Triple H facing mass cancellation from wrestling fans. Have you heard about this?
What did he do?
He answered a question, and fucking hell, they are losing their minds over the answer.
Sure that there are wrestlers that get opportunities that are deserved.
I see everybody gets the opportunity. Like if I don't see the difference in anybody, I don't see the color, I don't see the nationality, I don't see any of it. I just see talent. I don't see the difference between men and women.
We're going to listen to the rest, but people are going, wait a minute. So he doesn't see the difference. He only sees talent. So that means he thinks black people are less talented because he doesn't have enough black people on the meltdown is fucking crazy, dude. Okay. It's crazy.
I see talent. We tell stories with those talent, how they can handle those stories and how they can represent those stories and how we can bring those stories forward. So, I don't keep track of any of that. I do what's relevant and what is best in the best in storytelling and what's being delivered the best. And then that's what goes. No different than, the men and the women who main events, whatever the biggest stories are. That's where we go.
Next, sure that.
Oh my goodness, dude. The IWC, which is Internet Wrestling Community, is losing its fucking mind. I have seen so many viral tweets. Now, a lot of people are playing clips of like a promo back in the day when he was like standing in the ring with Booker T, and he's like, a guy like me deserves a championship over a guy that, and he looks down at him, that looks like you. You're meant to entertain. Do a spinnerunix for me. You're good at making people laugh. And I'm like, holy shit. And then they show where he was in blackface when he was trying to beat The Rock. Bro, God. The meltdowns are crazy right now. And I think that, I don't know. I mean, they're under new ownership and leadership now. But the cancellation attempts are huge right now. Like the viral nature of these tweets is out of control right now. Calling him racist, calling WWE racist. And
like wrestling is littered with people who might be like some of the most talented people in the world, but don't have the personality to like make it happen. Right.
Yeah.
Like the wrestling world is littered with that. It always has been.
Yeah.
And God, I remember watching wrestling when they were just continuously pushing Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, dude's a fucking monster. He's huge, but God, he's boring as fuck. Yep. He just was. He wasn't fun to watch. He wasn't fun to listen to. He was just boring, and it just didn't work, and you got tired of him getting pushed.
Yeah.
I think I said it on the show not that long ago. To this day, my favorite tag team is Crime Time. All right? Those guys had a personality. It was literally they were just criminals They would like fucking show up and steal people's belts and things like that. But they were fucking great. That should be the representation we bring back to WWE.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, wrestling is it's a whole different ball game, and Bobby Lashley, who was Donald Trump's pick to represent him, by the way. But you know, you had Ahmed Johnson back in the day. Ahmed Johnson was an absolute beast, and they tried to put him over. It just he didn't quite have the charisma that they were looking for, and obviously Ahmed Johnson turned out to be a psychopath. And you've had others that, you know, might have had the charisma but didn't have like the overall like look and the physique that they were wanting, which is a WWE trait, you know, that they've like somebody like Daniel Bryan. They did not want Daniel Bryan to be champion. It went over for a little while. Same with CM Punk. So no, dude, the Yes movement was fucking insane. But point being is that I want to pay a little more attention to this, and I'll probably make like a video on it. But yeah, the response, and I've got a lot of the responses bookmarked, and they are getting so much traction right now. It's absolutely insane. The meltdown going on over that comment that he made, where he simply the problem is Triple H didn't say what the typical executive in that situation would
like,
say.
Oh, we're always looking to expand and we want to give more opportunities. Blah, blah,
yes,
blah. Yeah.
yes, he did not give that answer, and holy shit, man, it is bad. It is bad.
Speaking of black wrestlers, I'll never forget when I met Mark Henry and I was wearing like a Green Lantern shirt, or I was wearing some superhero shirt, and he's like, "Hey, man, you like DC movies?" Like just trying to make conversation, and I talked his ear off for like the next 2 minutes about how fed up I was with the state of DC like movies, and he was just like, "All right." he was like so over. He wasn't expecting me to get into it like that. And Dolph Ziggler was just fucking sitting there listening to us and like chiming in about what he thought about Joss Whedon's Justice League and shit like that. It's so funny.
Yeah, this is basically what happened right here.
Hey, guys. Oh, big gulps, huh? All right. Well, see you later.
That
Pretty much, except he asked the question.
Yeah. Yeah, all right, well, see you later, buddy. See you, sport. Have a good one. Have a good one, sport.
Mark Henry is a large man.
Yeah, absolutely. But let's read some super chats really quick, and we'll get into our topics.
Greedo Gaming says, I agree with Jay.
Who's in the chat right now? Gave a Junkyard Dog a shout out.
McCawk, Silent Hill 2 review. Our people are saying it is good to okay, and Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero pre-order outsold Call of Duty 3 times over, says McCawk. Hey, there you go, Jeremy. You gonna play Dragon Ball Z?
No, I will be playing Black Ops 6, though.
There you go. Jeremy's not helping that ratio.
Nope.
Dom H with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Dom. He's got his Yankees. He's supporting his Yankees during the playoffs.
You think it's gonna be Yankees Dodgers?
That is the pick that I made yesterday, but the Padres got in the Dodgers' fucking heads yesterday. The fans had a meltdown. The fans were throwing shit at the Padres players. The Padres demolished the Dodgers in LA. And this has always been a big brother, little brother like relationship. The Padres have never really honestly challenged the Dodgers in any meaningful way, but the Padres feel like it's a rivalry where Dodgers always want to say it's not. This is like the moment where that could all change. This series could change that. I want the Padres to win desperately, but I don't know.
There's Gary in the chat. He's hyped for the Padres. I see somebody says Fortnite and COD normie games. Well, I would be playing Titanfall 2 if any fucking body would have bought it, but no, everybody buys Call of Duty and fucking Fortnite. Go buy Titanfall 2 and fucking support that game.
Just want to be clear. What Jeremy's saying is that because not enough people are playing it, he won't.
Because it's broken.
So you're saying if there were more normies playing Titanfall 2, you'd play with them?
Yes. I encourage normies to go play Titanfall 2 right now instead of shitty Respawn Apex Legends. The fucking Dollar General.
This game, so I won't play it. I'm not a normie.
No, I wish that I wish more normies would have played Titanfall 2. I really do.
Ellie Reen, member for 17 months. Happy to be watching daily again. It's been a minute, but I'm tuning into you. Figtards again. Hail the 199. Thank you, Ellie. Nice.
Hey, listen. I accept no Titanfall 2 slander in my chat. Okay, I will ban everybody.
That's the way to get him to play. J-Man for 2. Let's rename it Diddywood. Only a matter of time. Jason Cooper for 10. Fuck you too, Ryan. Yes. Andy plays games for 5. Shout out from the Space Coast. Walmart was a madhouse, but I got all my candy, donuts, and supplies for the grill ready for Milton. Yeah, this one's going to be interesting because when it goes over, it's actually going to cause a storm surge on the other side, like the Daytona side and everything.
There's one huge positive with this storm, and that is that how fast it's moving. It's moving very fast. It's going to hit land and it's going to pass over Florida in a pretty quick, like it's pretty quick how quickly it's going to hit there. But because if a lot of storms that you don't want them to sit, you don't want them to be slow moving. I don't know exactly how many miles an hour it's going to be going, because right now it's still pretty slow, and then tomorrow it's supposed to start moving really fast, and then once it hits the coast, it's supposed to move over Florida relatively quickly.
I'm not too worried. We two dumb motherfucker gentlemen for 199. I bought Starlink for a trip to Cambodia. Why the fuck are you going to Cambodia? Golden Nuggets for my friend saw Joker too. Yikes. Chinese Beardo for £2. Me Reiki Ryan very much. Thank you, Chinese Beardo. Primal Mike for 5. Jeremy, do you see the news about Halo Studios and that they have multiple projects in the works? Hail the 199. Hail the iDots. That was a big story that I saw breaking off last night.
Yes, I did, and I don't know if people saw it. I tweeted, but we actually, I have contacts in the industry, so I do have the very first screenshot of what Halo is going to look like with their new update. Ryan, are you prepared for this one?
Sure.
Okay, because this right here is breaking news. Okay, so the new the new Halo update will be this. There you go. Look at there. So that's going to be the new Halo update. All new. I mean, they're not taking any inspiration from anyone. So there you go. Hope everybody enjoys it. In all reality, Halo's fucking dead. I don't know if people saw like the person that was who is it?
Looks like they're going to be cast as a lead in the next Disney Star Wars project.
Yeah, let me see if I can find that one, because right here. So here's the Melissa Boone, Chief of Staff at 343 Industries, which is now Halo Studios. How you feeling about that one, ladies and gentlemen? How you feeling about that one? Probably not good, huh?
I'm just really happy that she has the black and brown in the pride flag as well. If you didn't have that, you're obviously a racist who also hates gays. So it's good to see that her is so supportive.
Yeah. So I would not be excited. I would not be excited if I was anyone that was a part of the Halo fan base. Halo had its time. It's still hard for me to believe how far Halo has fallen. Halo was the biggest franchise in gaming, and Master Chief was neck and neck with Mario for the kind of the symbol of gaming for a short period of time. And after Halo 3, that all fell apart, and it's never coming back, probably. Halo's kind of like a short-lived version of Star Wars in the gaming world. Obviously it didn't have the length of time that Star Wars had, but for that short run, man, it was
massive in the early 2000s. It was.
Yeah, it really was, man. Like there's nothing really that can compare to Halo 1 through 3, that time frame. But then it was all over after Halo 3. Is it?
Nothing like ordering pizza and breadsticks and having a couple 2-liters sitting there while you and your buddy just play Halo for hours and hours and hours.
Like I said, the first time I played through the campaigns of Halo, because it was a friend of mine brought his Xbox to work. I worked at Home Depot overnight. I was part of the overnight crew. So for lunch every night was lunchtime, man. We'd go to the break room, hook up the TV, play some fucking Halo, and run through the campaign. It was the greatest thing ever, man. But not coming back anytime soon.
Nope. It's over. Drunken Camera Beard, member for 6 months, in my Acolyte headcanon, Soul grew up on Nemoidia, which is why he has that accent. Yes, maybe that's why Soul speaks like a Nemoidian. It must be. That's the only thing. I was never convinced Arthur is a threat. Too skinny. Okay. Yeah, you know, the regular Joker, he's super built. Like the Joker depicted in comics, he's like notably just massive and bulky. So good point. Ted's Nerd World becomes a channel member. Thank you, Ted's Nerd World. Jason Cooper for 2. I'm living in where you two are in charge. Hold on. I'm living in where you two are in charge.
Yes.
Thanks, Jason. Joker 2, Society Strikes Back. There won't be a Revenge of the Clown, though. No, there won't. And I guess we can get to the Joker numbers. And I don't know if we've officially got the full numbers yet. Like the exact numbers for the weekend. Those should probably be coming in the next little bit. But I'm sure it's going to be close enough to 40 million that it won't really matter. There are some movies, Jeremy, where you often wonder, why are they making another one of these? Did this really need a sequel? Nobody was asking for this. Nobody was asking for a prequel. There are other movies when people are actively telling you, please don't make a sequel to this because you might end up damaging the first one. And this is a story that doesn't need to be told. For 5 years, I feel like that's what a lot of people said, specifically about Joker. But nevertheless, we did get a Joker 2, despite the fact that Todd Phillips over and over and over again had said, no, we're not going to do a sequel. It's always only been planned as one movie. I don't have another story to tell. Eventually, Warner Brothers gave him enough money that he said yes, and so did Joaquin Phoenix. And this is what we ended up with. The critics and the audiences are united in being completely and utterly disappointed in the sequel to Joker. Sitting at 31% audience score, 33% critic score. And the box office is even worse news for them. Joker box office, shocker, bombs with $40 million opening after receiving a D cinema score. To put that in perspective, I believe this is the worst cinema score that any comic book movie has ever received, just for the record. A $40 million opening puts it below The Flash, puts it below The Marvels, and is almost tied with Morbius in terms of box office openings. And this is a $200 million film. This is about the biggest disaster that you could have possibly imagined for Warner Brothers.
Yeah, and you get what you deserve at this point in time. I've repeated it multiple times. I'll repeat it again. As much as I love a movie like Inception or Interstellar from Christopher Nolan, if you would have given me a follow-up to either one of those movies, it more than likely would have damaged my experience with the first one. Those are one-off films that need to be isolated to one film. You start expanding upon these stories and answering these questions and giving further context to all of this stuff, you're just going to take it in the wrong direction. And not only has this been a failure for the Joker for so many people, but it's from what people are saying, it's affecting their view of the first film. Does it affect your view of the first film?
No, it doesn't. To me, like, it doesn't affect my because I actually watched the other one over the weekend. And it doesn't make me enjoy that any less necessarily. But the problem is I just feel like they took the exact wrong direction with the sequel. And they do try to undercut some things and provide a bunch of context for what is happening. And at the end of the day, this big journey you went on with Arthur Fleck in becoming the Joker, they completely undo all of that. And at the end of the day, you're left with just Arthur Fleck. And I think I understand why Todd Phillips did it, but I think it was 100% the wrong thing to do. And this is why one of the things that makes Joker so great is the discussions, the arguments you can have with other people, including yourself, about what is actually going on and what is specifically the meaning about this and what does this mean for his character. And when you try to answer all those questions in a completely dissatisfying way, you're going to get a lot of pushback. And that's what happened with Joker 2. You know, Warner Brothers saw $1 billion movie at the box office and thought, we have to make another one. Doesn't matter if there's no actual story plan. Doesn't matter if these guys aren't really fucking invested. We're going to pay them enough money and make them do it, and we're going to hit box office gold again. Because Warner Brothers lost out on half of the profits for that first Joker because they had other financiers for the movie, because they didn't really believe in it. And they missed out on that. They decided, hey, this is when we're really going to cash in. And now you're left sitting here with a movie that, in all likelihood, is not going to break even, and it's going to lose money for you the second time around.
Well, the word of mouth is terrible. And of course, it was bad for all of these movies involved here, with Morbius, The Flash, the Marvels. Marvels didn't hit 100 million, did it? Or did it barely hit 100 million domestically? I can't remember.
It's probably very close. It was around $200 million worldwide. This movie's not going to do that. It's doing better internationally. I think it opened to 120 million overall opening weekend. But the worldwide opening weekend for the first Joker 5 years ago was over 250 million.
Mm-hmm.
And that movie had a very positive word of mouth. You saw projections continue to rise as you went through the weekend, and that it nearly hit $100 million domestically. And it did go on to become the biggest R-rated movie of all time at the box office until it was dethroned by Deadpool and Wolverine. But you're going to have the opposite momentum with this. It's just not going to, you're not going to have people coming back for repeat viewings like they did with the first one. There's not the energy surrounding it. You don't have people telling their friends they have to go see it. You're having the opposite. People are telling their friends, don't go see this movie.
Yeah, and it'll be the end of this Joker run, that's for sure. And look, man, the DC cinematic universe, whether it's the movies or the television shows, it is kind of weird, man, because there are people that are curious, like, how does this tie into the Robert Pattinson Batman and all of that? And it doesn't. Not a lot, but
I don't
normies.
think that's a big deal. And I actually think the first one kind of shows that. Like, I don't think that, I think people often put way too much stock in that. Of course, hardcore fans are going to be asking those questions and shit. But did people wondering about that have any effect on the first one making $1 billion at the box office as an R-rated movie? No, it didn't.
Well, no,
And,
but strong word of mouth is what elevated that ultimately, and that's fine. But it does get complicated the more you get into that from people that aren't following this as closely. We've been asked that question on stream. You know, like, how is this tied to the Robert Pattinson Batman universe? And so, but you've got TV shows, you've got James Gunn's DC, you've got Robert Pattinson's Batman, you've got the Penguin, you've got
Penguin's airing right now. I'm halfway through the third episode that came out last night, and I love that show.
I don't get the negativity. I've seen the second one, I haven't seen the third one yet, but like, I don't see where IGN gave it a 5, even though they gave the first episode an 8. Now I know it was different people and all of that. I know, but I'm curious what the end result is of that season. But yeah, Penguin, it's so far so good, man, and people are loving that. And it's a whole that's another one that runs the risk of, though, I am watching it going, how do you justify Batman not being in this as the story progresses? And we're just gonna have to see. But yeah, back to Joker. You get what you deserve. I'm glad the movie is flopping. I didn't want to see the movie. I don't like Lady Gaga. I don't know why Lady Gaga's a star. I get that she's got her a bunch of followers and all that, but clearly her star power doesn't translate over to box office receipts, which is something I think I said about her and Taylor Swift, where just because they're big stars, it doesn't mean that we're not in a star-driven world anymore where it's just an automatic translation. Lady Gaga has like hundreds of millions of followers on social media. She's one of the most followed people on social media. Nobody fucking cares. You're in a flop of a movie, and you're in your element where you're singing as an iconic comic book character, and no one cares because it's not a good movie.
All right. Well, I'll also say this because you didn't watch the movie. I was shocked with how little she actually sang, and the way that they had her sing. Not like the typical way you would expect somebody who's being brought on as a famous artist to sing. And I think they took the complete wrong approach with the music in the movie. And even though there would be a lot of people questioning the decision, I think it would have been better off for them to actually go full-blown musical with this, as opposed to these random karaoke breaks in between. I think she did a fine job. I don't think she ruined the movie. What ruined the movie was the story that that Todd Phillips told about Arthur Fleck. I was surprised that Harley Quinn was not more of a focal point than she was in this movie. But like you said, star power doesn't matter as much as we feel like it used to at the end of the day. A little laundry list of the biggest stars in Hollywood could be in movies that absolutely bomb at the box office. That's just the truth. So getting someone attached to the film that does have a big following isn't going to matter if people don't feel the movie's worth going to see.
Yeah, I mean, for me, one of the biggest turnoffs was Lady Gaga in the movie. I fucking hate her. I think she's useless and talentless. She's a little bit better than Beyonce, which is not saying much at all. But I think Lady Gaga is garbage. And so her being in this role in this iconic of a movie that it's a sequel to was a huge red flag for me and actively made me not want to see the movie. So fuck Lady Gaga.
Yeah, I don't think that has anything to do with the reason why it's being so poorly received. That's what I will say.
No. But I think that it turned a lot of people off by her being part of it. I think a lot of people initially were turned off by it.
I think more people were probably turned off. I think you're overestimating the amount of people that were turned off by the idea that she was in there. I think more people were turned off on the idea that it was somewhat semblance of a musical in general than just the idea that Lady Gaga was going to be there. And I think then those very same people said, well, it's probably because Lady Gaga's in it that's happening. And that might be why there was some negativity surrounding it. The first movie, if you go back and watch the first movie, there is a lot of actual kind of music elements to it. And you'd even have Joker in that sequence, singing a little bit towards the end of that movie. But this one took it way too fucking far. And I feel like the context surrounding when they placed the music in there was nonsensical. It didn't help the story at all and only served to turn people off who didn't want to hear that shit.
Yep. Well, I, for one, am glad that it's failing. So I'm the only person, though. I'm the only person.
I wish that it would have been awesome. I wish it was an awesome follow-up movie to an awesome movie in 2019. It's funny because now you have, I saw this the other day, end of 2018, beginning of 2019, Aquaman came out, made $1 billion. Captain Marvel came out in 2019, made $1 billion. Joker came out in 2019, made $1 billion. Now the sequels to those have all completely flopped at the box office.
It's a tough time right now for superhero movies, but when you're making superhero movies because you see a paycheck and not because you see an opportunity to tell a story, that's really what it comes down to. And Joker 2 exists because they saw an opportunity to make a paycheck, not because they had a story to tell. Aquaman, I'm still trying to figure out I'm still not sure how the first one blew up and became such a success. But it did. I guess it was just like a perfect storm of timing, and Jason Momoa's star power was kind of at all-time high at that moment, and him in that role in the moment, and all. I think it was just a perfect storm of things that happened because that was not like a great movie.
It was a perfect storm of just mid enough to be acceptable and entertaining, cool special effects, a movie that appealed to both men and women. Like. Men wanted to go there to see Amber Heard with her tits out, and because they thought Jason Momoa was a cool dude. Girls wanted to go there to see fucking Jason Momoa with the shirt off. It was just one of those things.
Yeah. So
it is what it is. Where people would just go see any comic book movie that was out.
And Aquaman did that was like the first DC movie that kind of leaned into like this whole it was more of a Marvel-esque tone and feel. For a DC movie, it was a little more lighthearted, a little more fun, a little more, goofy, and a lot less serious. So that's one reason it kind of had a normie appeal to it as well. But the second movie just, my God, nobody asked for that shit. Is Hurricane Milton a Cat 5 now?
Probably, as it's just going over the Gulf.
I mean, I know it was Cat 4 earlier. And I
don't care. It's in the middle of the fucking ocean. I don't give a fuck about it right now.
You go and learn.
That's all I give a shit about.
You go and learn.
I don't care. I'm fucking in Orlando, bro. I'm not by the coast. I don't have to worry about storm surge. It's not going to be nearly as fucking windy by the time it gets here. As long as my internet fucking holds out Spectrum, which is like hanging on by a thread as it is in a normal day, then I'll be fucking fine. That's all that I care about. If you're in a flood zone, fucking get ready or get the fuck out. Me, fuck. I'll be fine. Or I'll die and I'll be fine with that too. All right, where are we here?
Ryan, can you relate to the Trump meme I put up the other day?
What is it?
Have you seen it? The one about sitting at a, let's see, patiently waiting for your chips and salsa. Have you not seen that one?
I think I have.
Is this
but I don't
you?
remember the picture.
Is this you?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Is that you?
I don't look as patient, no.
Such a good fucking meme, dude.
I don't look
Holy
as patient.
shit. It's so good. Woo!
Let's see. Johnny Gringo for 10. Hail to all geeks and gaggers. Double G is M. Thank you. Crimson Cyborg, Bruce Wayne would break Arthur Fleck. At least Heath Ledger was in Batman's weight class. Making Bruce a kid in Joker was stupid, by the way. I don't think you need Bruce Wayne in that at all. That's if I could make a change to the first Joker, I would remove him completely from it, as I don't think there's any real good reason for it. But yeah, Batman would also break Joker. Cool. Beardo's back parking lot wristies for 10. WWE live chat on YouTube collectively rolled their eyes when that reporter asked the question. The meltdown is just Redditards, IWC being louder than the majority.
Well, I agree. I mean, but that's generally how it always is a bunch of weirdos online that make a bunch of noise. But the amount of likes and traction that those tweets are getting, I hope they don't respond to it. I really do.
Jester of Roanoke for 2. Joker 2 needed more natural born killers and less gay. Sneaky Singy for 5. Wait. The game just said he doesn't see the difference between men and women.
Yeah, the game, Triple H.
Yeah. Did he say that?
He was giving the most generic, politically correct answer to a ridiculous, retarded question. That's essentially what he was trying to do.
Yeah, he was just saying that, guess what? I'm going to hire the best person I think for the job.
Yes.
That's all he said.
Yeah.
CJ for 10. HHH is not a racist. The reason he should be canceled is for all the burying he did during his actual career.
True.
Raven Black Sparrow with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Raven. B Chain for 5. The yes became the New York Islanders gold chair. It's so cool when the whole arena erupts in it.
Yes movement was awesome, man. It really was.
Japanese Demon Lord of Beer Loose for, hey, Ryan, did you see Legal Mindset lived your dream last night? I have literally no idea what you're talking about.
I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about right there.
Mexican Iron Man, go Padres, beat the Dodgers. The Dodgers fans suck and held up the game to their ghetto Dodger antics. Let's go Friars. Yeah, I got to make a video about that.
What's the series at right now?
It's tied 1-1.
Tied 1-1. I was watching a little bit of the game yesterday.
D's Webos, member for 12 months. Bobby Lashley was just a muscular Wayne Brady back in the ruthless aggression days. Obi-Wan Bon Jovi.
Holy shit.
That's funny. For 20. This ain't Texas. Woo! Ain't no hold'em. Hey. So lay your cards down. So park your Lexus. Woo! Throw your keys up. Hey. Stick around. Round. Stick around. Come pour some sugar on me, honey, too. Thanks. Andre CR for 5,000. The bee is hungry. She needs to tell. So give her inches and feed her well. More days to come, new places to go. I've got to leave. It's time for a show. Here I am, rock you like a hurricane.
Did you know why Gary was getting Bon Jovi lyrics?
I heard a rumor that he sent you Beyonce lyrics or something.
No, so on Cobra Cast the day before, I told everybody to go send Gary Bon Jovi lyrics because he's a huge Bon Jovi fan. And he would love nothing more than to read Bon Jovi lyrics on Friday Night Tights. He had no idea what was going on. I also told everybody that he likes to cruise down the road in his cowboy hat screaming, "It's my life." That's just Gary's. That's what he does to relax. Kind of like how Jerry Maguire's driving down the road singing. That's how Gary is with Bon Jovi. So now I have to deal with the Beyonce bullshit. So,
and me too, apparently. Maga Sandra, been away for a bit. I'm back. Praise RI. Hail to the fellowship. Is MegaCon still a go?
MegaCon is still a go. We'll have more deets dropping probably right after SpaceCon.
Jason Yankovic for 2. Isn't there Halo skins in Fortnite already? Pretty sure.
There is.
Miyazaki should be allowed to make the next Halo. Says Moose.
Halo's dead. Just play Fortnite as Master Chief. That's the better way to do it.
Over on Rumble, we've got B. Barrett for 2. As I was saying, Ryan's a fig. Thank you, B. Barrett. Mighty Megatron. Hey, Jeremy. Vandy?
What? Oh, yeah. I mean, listen.
You were notoriously a no-show on the Sports Wars stream after Vandy beat Alabama.
Yeah, I mean, I was live when Alabama got beat. So, I mean, I'm watching the game as it's happening. But listen, man, I've not been that high on Alabama this year. I've said all year. I mean, obviously, the Georgia game made me go like, maybe I've got this wrong. But the reality of it is they are who we thought they were. Alabama's not that good. There's not. This is not. Nick Saban is not there anymore. That's the reality of the situation. College football has changed. And
the worst loss since like the Nick Saban era started. Like his worst loss probably that Louisiana Monroe game, but that was really early on, right?
That was his first season.
It was his first season, so
the season he inherited and a team that he inherited. So it's hard to say.
Loss that Alabama's had since Nick Saban
it's hard to say because I've watched every Bama game this year. They have not looked good except for the Georgia game, but then they almost threw that one away too. Like, so yeah, you can on paper, you can say coming off of probably the best win of the year and then having the worst loss than in recent memory. I'm telling you, man, I don't think Bama's that good. I think Bama's going to lose 3 or 4 games this year.
Number 1 team in the nation going into Vanderbilt, and
yeah, I think
that's the worst loss they've had. And
I think
era started.
I think Bama is going to lose multiple games this year. Kalen DeBoer is he's not Nick Saban. Nobody's Nick Saban. And fuck Paul Feinbaum. Paul Feinbaum after the Georgia game says, "Dare I say it? Alabama looks better under Kalen DeBoer than Nick Saban." Get the fuck out of here, dude. No, Nick Saban is the GOAT. And Alabama's fucked. That's it.
Vault 95 survivor for $1. Eric July ruined Joker too. maybe. Nader's Bricks for $1. Hail the 199. Bad Blood was awesome. Hell in the Cell is one of the best things I've seen since WrestleMania. The amount of former WCW talent present shows how Triple H has mended fences.
Triple H is doing a good job.
I saw Mickey James. I saw like a random video of Mickey James today. I don't know if that was the same thing or not.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, it's good. I mean, Triple H is doing good. I haven't watched wrestling as much as I want to because there's so much else going on that's got my attention, like politics and everything. But yeah, Triple H is doing a pretty good job. We'll see how it holds up.
Aberjam for $1. Every time someone talks about the Padres, my Star Wars addled brain hears pod race. Also, hail Jeremy, a notorious homosexual. Pat for $1. Jason Momoa goes from Game of Thrones to Minecraft.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple years thrown in there in between, but yes. Pat for another 2. In response to the poor performance of Alabama, I'm waiting for Jeremy to yell, "My Dixie wrecked it." Thanks. Kalioth for 5. That pride flag was missing representation for the Caucasian alphabet people. I smell cultural appropriated racism. Thank you. Crimson Cyborg for 199. Skinny Ryan Cope. I just think it's like, and then says, I know Ryan loved the scrawny representation. I just think it's like a really weird criticism to be like, wow, Joker was really skinny when like virtually
always
all
been- he's
modern
always-
comic book and video game depictions of Joker, he's like rail thin.
Very thin. He's
Yeah,
even
it's like such a weird criticism to have.
he's thinner than Joaquin Phoenix in the Joker in a lot of depictions.
Yeah. And whereas Batman is depicted as being like fucking 6'3", 260 and massive.
Yeah.
So I feel like you're coping because of your weird criticism. Space Monkey for 5. Please help hurricane victims by donating to Samaritan's Purse. FEMA's being completely evil.
I've heard a lot of people
coming out about that.
I've heard a lot of people talking about that charity right there.
Jason Cooper gives 5 Geeks and Gamers memberships. Thank you. Milton Duffy, cannot wait to storm through and see you in a day or two. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Thank you,
Be interesting.
Hurricane Milton. David Smart, hail the fellowship. I'm so sick of these standalone films without a main hero because shit like Venom and Joker will happen. I'm so done.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of like the Venom movies. Like I know they did very well. I'm not the biggest fan.
Third one's projected to do really well at the box office.
I know.
I first one, okay. The second one's just the first movie over again. I don't know what this third one's going to be. I'm not super invested. Jason Cooper gives some membership. Thank you, Jason. Crimson Cyborg for 199. Joker built like a victim. Cry about it. I see one person crying. I don't know. Lance Corporal Waffles. Some men just want to watch the world burn. Hollywood and AAA gaming get what they deserve. Thank you, Mr. Waffles. Hypothetical scenario. Big Mike and Diddy are in the same room. Does Big Mike diddle P. Diddy's PP or P. Diddly diddles Big Mike PP? I think they just fuck.
I'm going to treat it as the Joker, and I don't need to know what happens to know that I don't need to know what happens. So,
yeah, they'll just have sex. I'm a fellow Jeremy who loves Titanfall 2. Down to game, says Shark Cage.
I would like to get private lobbies back up and running for Titanfall 2. We did that in the last about a year ago. I'd love to get some private lobbies back up. We did that with the chat, and it was a lot of fun. Greatest FPS ever made.
Ever.
Best
ever. I'm lobbying for Oppenheimer 2, Too Atomic to Bomb. Yeah, what's the sequel? A. Marcel's Joker 3. Just kidding, guys. Guarantee they'll make this movie, and we'll find out the first 2 movies are made up by the Joker who's been sitting in Arkham telling his story to Batman. Nah, they're done after this one. Such a typical Warner Brothers thing to do. Fuck up a good thing and lose money in the process. Eugenio Anime Rican 1976 Alavencia for 10. Hey, chat. Let's show how much we appreciate and love Jeremy for everything he does by spamming Go Vandy in the chat. I'm sure he will love you all for it.
Listen, I know, and it still does feel like Alabama's on top of the world because the greatest moment in a team's life is when they beat Alabama. We're still at that point. I still find pride in that. But let's just be clear. This is not Nick Saban's Alabama. That's the reality of the situation. It's just not. Okay? But the fact that people still treat it like it is, I guess that's a good thing. But Bama sucks right now.
Yeah, fuck Bama.
They really do. Like, I anticipate 3 to 4 losses this year. Bring back Nick Saban.
It's a good way to make sure you don't disappoint yourself, Jeremy, and aren't held accountable for your fandom. Well, I didn't expect much anyway. But you know what I didn't expect much from?
I talked a lot of shit when Nick Saban was the head coach, okay? And I've put my foot in my mouth quite a few times. All I can do is tell you straight up, Alabama ain't good this year.
I needed a traverse to the Disney Star Wars topic. You know what I don't have a lot of faith in, Jeremy? Disney Star Wars, and for good reason, because nobody really should. We saw what happened with the Acolyte. It's been, a month or 2 since it was unceremoniously canceled, deservedly so, because it was the biggest Disney Star Wars disaster that we've ever seen in history. Well, the handful of Disney Star Wars fans that are delusional and the media, they've done everything in their power to try to convince people that it's really toxic, racist fans' fault and Disney shouldn't have canceled something like this. We also heard from a couple members of the cast and crew. Now we heard from another one. Jodie Turner-Smith blast Disney for not defending the Acolyte cast. They've got to stop doing this thing where they don't say anything when people are getting fucking dogpiled on the internet with racism and bullshit. It's just not fair to not say anything. It's really unfair. Did you go to the article where they got this when you made your video, Jeremy?
I did click on the article at the Culture Crave, but I ended up not going through the whole thing. So I didn't even worry about it. I just played the video of her letting everybody know, like, this is who she is. This is the yes chick.
Well, I thought you'd like to know that in Glamour magazine, which is where this interview took place, you can see the headline, Jodie Turner-Smith, we don't get to fail upward like a lot of white men. That explains pretty much everything about who she is and why these things are happening, right?
Wow.
I know, right? Such a low fucking standard here. But this is the entire quote. The show was unceremoniously canceled, allegedly due to low ratings. But in the weeks leading up to its season finale, the cast faced relentless torrents of racist abuse online from so-called fans who couldn't handle a black actor leading a Star Wars series.
Bro,
Jeremy,
it's the fucking internet.
when the Lando Calrissian project was announced, did we get a super big onslaught of people saying, I can't believe they're going to let a black person be the lead role in a Star Wars series?
No.
No, that's weird. What about all these so-called fans who can't handle a black actor? Now, you know what would have happened, though? If that show had come out and it was dog shit, it would have been criticized. Just like the Obi-Wan Kenobi series was criticized and it had a white male lead. And despite the media's gaslighting attempts about the character of Reva, that was like 5th or 6th on people's list of complaints about the Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Yes.
Could people not handle a black lead when people were very critical and toxic towards The Last Jedi, when they were being critical of how Luke Skywalker was treated and his character? Why wasn't it racist backlash then when people hated the character of Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi?
You want to talk about the sequel trilogy? The person, and I'm not saying that it's like a fan favorite per se, but the actor and the character that most people wanted more of in the sequel trilogy was who, Ryan?
When people say this and they say, I really wanted to see more Finn, I didn't, but
that's generally speaking like what you hear the most of. And in all reality, I would say John Boyega's Finn is probably the best acted character in the sequel trilogy outside of Kylo Ren. He was the best acting outside of Kylo Ren, because Adam Driver is a phenomenal actor.
I think Oscar Isaacs did a.
He was fine.
I think he's a really good fucking actor. The problem is his character is kind of boring and doesn't have a point because he's supposed to die in the first one, right? So like that's kind of the main problem with that. If you're talking about the best acted, I would probably say him after Kylo Ren. But
yeah, I mean, I think Oscar Isaac is a really good actor, but in terms of the movies itself, I think John Boyega probably just did a better job. His character had more to do, but the point being is it doesn't really matter. This is nonsense. This whole narrative is nonsense. It's ridiculous. This is all comes down to you ran your mouth at Star Wars Celebration because you didn't understand Star Wars. You claimed that Star Wars got female representation for the first time ever because of you, and that's where the backlash really started, right here.
My character, you know, she's a powerful leader. She's a powerful leader. Yes.
We've never seen any powerful female leaders in Star Wars before. They've just been completely absent. The original trilogy, we didn't see it. The prequel trilogy, we didn't see it. This is the first time in history we've ever seen a powerful female leader in the Star Wars universe. Thank God Jodie Turner-Smith and Leslie Headland were there to give us this moment that Star Wars fans have been waiting fucking 45 years for.
Yeah, next are you gonna play any more where she runs her mouth
in
more?
a very woman-centered world, which I was very excited to kind of be that, because I feel like Star Wars is very like patriarchal, so it was kind of cool to have like this sort of woman-centered figure.
I have a reaction for that, and I think it's going to represent the entire chat. Are you ready, Ryan?
Ready.
All right, here we go. I'm trying to stall so I can find it really quickly. Fuck, I can't find it. Never mind then. It's gone.
Sweet. Good job. I'll finish this quote. It's just not fair to not say anything. It would just be nice if the people that have all the money, whether that be Disney or any studio, were showing their support and putting their feet down. Say this is unacceptable. You're not a fan if you do this. Make a really big statement and just see if any money leaves. You dumb bitch. We already know that you don't know anything about Star Wars. Maybe you could have paid attention during the Obi-Wan Kenobi series and realized that's exactly what Lucasfilm and Disney did, and it backfired on them in a major way. Because guess what? 99.9% of the people that you're talking about, they're just critics of the show. They don't like what you're doing with the show. And when you use that as an attempt to gaslight everybody and you're thinking everyone that doesn't like it is a fucking racist and you don't belong here, that just goes to further piss off the fan base. That's what happened with the Kenobi series. They did exactly what you wanted and it backfired on them.
Every single time. This is Disney Star Wars. It's not going to change. Everybody thinks that every time a new project comes out that it's going to be different. It's not going to be different. They continue to hire people like this, and they're going to continue to hire people like this, even if they have failure on top of failure on top of failure. This is what Disney Star Wars is. It's what it has been, and it's what it will continue to be for the foreseeable future. Nothing's going to change. Nothing. And I think Disney has this type of mindset just entrenched in their company. So it's not like a very easy decision to just go, oh, we need to probably get away from weirdos like that. This is ingrained in their company to bring more people like this into the fold that are obsessed with this type of mindset. You don't snap your fingers and just change this. This is a way of life at Disney, especially Lucasfilm specifically.
And then this must be the comedy part of the routine here. Just see if any money leaves. I bet you it won't, because people of color, and especially black people, make up a very large percentage of buying power. They might find it's actually more lucrative for them, but everyone's using woke like it's a dirty word. Yes, the notorious large buying power of black people. That's what we should really be doing. Get rid of all the white fans. We don't need them. All we need is black buying power to support Disney Star Wars. That is what Jodie Turner-Smith apparently believes in her mind. How do you think that'll work out, Jeremy?
I don't think that's going to work out very well at all. At the end of the day, you should never, ever specify that you are targeting any specific demographic whatsoever. You should just make a good fucking show with good characters, and the rest will play out how it needs to play out. So that's not a winning formula at all. And I, for one, hope that Disney takes her words into consideration, though. I hope that Disney says we need to focus on the black buying power for our next series, just so we can see how that one works, okay? Let's see how that one works out for you. Go ahead and take her advice. Good Lord.
Oh, boy. Anyway, Great Con. We heard during the Marbles, all you bigots just don't want a female-led movie to succeed. Well, I guess we hate straight white men, too. LMAO. It's true. The Thrillist for 199. We need more original comedy films that aren't PC. And Vince Vaughn knows that. Beardo's Hairy Cheeks for 2 says Beardo Asian. Thank you. Jason Cooper for 2 doesn't say anything. M can't be a U fan for 5. Jonah Hex, worst comic book movie. $10 million box office on a $45 million budget. Hashtag Beardo fat. Hashtag Jeremy loves Beyonce. Gay. Yeah, I guess Jonah Hex technically is a comic book movie. Rodrigo Lopez for 5. That Trump meme is perfect day because I'm Mexican and it's also my birthday. I hope you get all the chips and salsa you can eat there, Rodrigo. Happy birthday. Feliz cumpleaños. Shane Bentley for 5. Can't believe my dogs lost to a team that got beat by Vandy. Now I can't believe I'm giving money to a Bama fan. Dadgummit, Jeremy.
Roll fucking Tide still, baby.
Peter Karen, Elon should buy Lucasfilm. Fire 80% of the staff, and we would get better Star Wars. That'd be the solution, Peter. Locke, Jeremy, my Vandy friends keep messaging me and mocking us. Am I legally allowed to hire hitmen?
You don't have any Vandy friends. Nobody likes Vandy.
Eddie Brock for 5. Ryan, Uptown Girl. She's been living in her uptown world, but she's never had a backstreet guy. I bet her mama never told her why. Love you, Fig. Thank you, Eddie Brock. Not looking forward to your third movie. Infamous for 279. What's your favorite coach meltdown?
Mike Gundy. I'm a man. I'm 40. That's got to be the best one. That's got to be the best one.
Like for me, is it Dennis Green? We are who they thought they were. Because that was the Bears game, and I think didn't Devin Hester return 2 fucking punts that night or something insane? Like that obviously sticks in my head because that was a crazy comeback by the Bears.
Yeah, but I'm a man. I'm 40 has got to be the best one. So
Crimson
that's
Cyborg.
Not true. That's not true. Like, it just
goes off. Crimson Cyborg for 20. Not a Ryan hater, just trolling the seaman. Ryan is Aquaman, Beardo's Batman, and Jeremy's Superman. Can we get Fat Joker before Black Joker, please? Anything is possible. I know Joker's skinny. Don't ban me, Daddy. We won't ban you, Crimson
Dude,
Cyborg.
we don't ban people. The only people we ban is spammers. That's it. Spam the chat. That's it. You can talk as much shit as you want around here. You guys know that.
Thank you, Crimson. Booming Bob for 5. Jeremy went to go watch Snake Eyes to make himself feel better after the loss.
Worst fucking movie ever made.
Lord Botha for 199 says, Ryan, Twig. Thank you. Shadow saying Jeremy would boot up Titanfall 3 before getting back on Battlefront 2.
No, I've got Battlefront 2. I reinstalled it. We're trying to play that one. Quentin keeps yelling at me in the chat. So, by the way, Milton is a Category 5 hurricane right now.
Crimson for 199. I'm done crying. Sorry for coping all over you. As long as you clean it up afterwards. Thank you. Jason Yankovic for 5. Amazon shows prove it's not only white men who fail upwards. Very true. Who's the why am I forgetting her name? Weird name, black female director. God.
Was it the chick that did the Wrinkle in Time?
Yes.
Somebody's gonna say it in the chat. Somebody's gonna say it as soon as you say it.
Ava DuVernay.
Yeah,
Ava DuVernay.
Yeah.
You're talking about somebody who fucking continues to fail upward. Ava DuVernay. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
I guess she must be a white man. Didn't know that.
It's absolutely insane.
Crimson, I deleted my mean comments from Amanda Stenberg's Instagram page. I'm 22 and still growing. I was wrong. Thanks for setting a good example, G&G. Hail 199. I don't know if you're being serious or not, but good on you, Crimson. Glad you...
I think we've made it very clear we don't support anybody going over there and her. And these are things we have to say. With all the shit that they clip out on us and they're targeting us, all these weirdos making up lies about us, we have to make it clear we do not support that harassment of any actors. Watch our videos, comment on our videos, send us super chats. That's all we encourage.
Yeah, like for me, it's not even because we have to say it. I just like, to me, I don't fucking feel the need to go over and comment on people's shit like that.
I don't feel the need that I should be telling people that people are going to do whatever the fuck they want to do in life. Like, I don't have any control, but I've never directed anyone or asked anyone to go and do anything online, but I've been accused of doing that. So because I constantly get accused of that, I have to specify that we don't support that at all. But the reality of it is I cringe every time I say that, because at the end of the day, the internet's going to do whatever the fuck the internet wants to do, regardless of what I have to say. That's the reality of the situation.
Anak Maman, when Jeremy curses, a part of me is surprised. That's because his Alabama accent makes it seem like he should say things like "Daggummit," "Cull Sarnet," "Dag Blast It," "Fiddlesticks," or "Great Caesar's Ghost." Thanks, Anak Maman. I was making sure you didn't slip in a slur there. Darth Gabble 5, fans can't handle a black leader. DS9, Benjamin Sisko. Not Star Wars fans, I guess. Mara Jade, Leo Organa, Padme, Ayla Sakura, Shakti, Mon Mothma. Yeah, they don't exist. And even if you just want to take ones that have been in the movies, like, pretty fucking easy. Ministry of Wrong Thing for 5. Act Ma'am made a magnum opus for anti-woke. Starts off mocking a random list woke gamers none of us use that has Space Marine 2 as woke.
Yeah, I keep seeing Asmongold talk about how people were saying that Elden Ring was woke. Who the fuck said Elden Ring was woke? No one said that. That narrative is absolutely ridiculous. No one was calling Elden Ring woke.
Like there's a handful of people that do label anything that they just don't like as that, but not a massive amount of people. Some, but not really worth talking about.
What did Andy Pants Gaming say that? Well, I've made it clear where I stand on Andy Pants Gaming. I think that guy's a fucking fraud and a retard.
Maximus BT for 199. Are you retarded? David Smart for 2. Jim Gordon versus Joker. Boom. So simple. Shaking my head. Chris B. Other coaches with legendary rants and quotes. Mike Leach. Jim Mora. Playoffs. Cole Hauser. Hey, Jeremy and Ryan. Jeremy knows better. The Snake Eyes movie sucks. Only true Snake Eyes movie is the first American ninja. 199. Praise Ara.
Snake Eyes movie is the worst fucking piece of shit ever made.
Falcon trading cards for 20. Hey guys, would love to send you complimentary Swamp Monsters, the trading card game. How can I get in contact? Also launch a free tabletop sim mod to check out also. Thanks and keep crushing it.
Jeremy at geeksandgamers.com.
Yeah.
Send me an email.
My email's there on my channel as well. My P.O. box is also listed on my channel. So thank you for thinking of us, Falcon trading cards.
Appreciate that.
Titty Smacker. Augie Garrido, Texas Baseball, the best meltdown. Okay. I'm not familiar with his work. Maddening, next week. Let's go for $10. Over on Rumble, Tiggs for $2. Ryan, please start a channel just reading song lyrics. I don't know why it's so funny, but damn it, it's great. You're awesome at the deadpan stuff. Hail Figs and the 199 dots. I don't know if people would watch that. Darth McSpud for 2. Says 199. Bronsonite for $1. Rumor has it the next Disney Star Wars project will be inspired by the movie Juice and the beloved classic Sanford and Son. Maybe. We'll get to see all that buying power in action. LMAO, what the fuck is black buying power? Star Wars isn't that big in the community like that. Jordans are, though. Them shits are ugly, by the way. Depends on the Jordan. Some of them are fucking iconic. But yeah, some of them aren't. And we're
caught up. So today I got multiple Cobra Cast I'm doing today. I'm going to do a Cobra Cast mini here in a few hours and then a regular Cobra Cast later tonight. There's a lot to talk about. Let's see. Jeremy, will there be a Hurricane Cast? Potentially. I'll do another Hurricane Cast. Potentially. Soulful Design for 10 says, I'm not with DEI hires, but I have a question. How do you explain J.J. Abrams, Ryan Johnson, and Dave Filoni garbage? I feel it's not DEI, it's Disney. Well, Ryan Johnson specifically, once he got his trilogy, said that they need more black, they need less white dudes in Star Wars, is what he said. J.J. Abrams has his, what is that manifesto they wrote about how much they hate white people for a bad robot? Remember that one?
Yeah.
And
Dave Filoni and go back to fucking immediately after Force Awakens and his quotes, along with the story group and all the executives at Lucasfilm, where Dave Filoni said, I think it'd just be so powerful if we subverted the fans' expectations and embrace femininity instead of the masculine hero. What about the matriarchy subverting the patriarchy? Wouldn't that be so powerful in Star Wars? If you've watched Dave Filoni's work, it makes a lot of sense that he would say that.
Yeah, so the white guys that they're hiring all line up with the leftist DEI narrative that they're pushing. So it is DEI, and it is a leftist narrative and a leftist mindset for sure. Crimson Cyborg says, I meant that apology. Hate is lame. Got a P.O. box. Yes, it's in almost all the descriptions of the Geeks and Gamers videos, and Ryan's is in his, I think, as well. So, all right. So multiple Cobra Cast today for me. We got a gaming stream later tonight on Geeks and Gamers Play. Ryan, what positive things are you doing for the internet today?
Nothing. Put out more videos.
Nothing.
Very positive for the internet, probably.
That is probably not very positive. But other than that, thank you guys. Another Geeks and Gamers Daily in the books. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll figure out this hurricane. Right now it's a Cat 5. And as you guys know, I do like the hurricane stream I did on D-Day Cobra last time was really good. So we may have to do another one. We'll
it's barreling right
Jeremy,
for me.
It'll be Jeremy Prime, y'all. I'll just change my channel name. So here we go. But anyway, thank you guys. Have a good day. We'll talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.